Welcome back to the Burn, everybody. I am Ryan Van Deaver, and we're presented to you by Hot Zone Sports. The information that you need to know, built with you in mind, for the people, by the people, and with the people. Join the Hot Zone Sports community today. Remember, our show is wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify. So if you could rate and review us, we would really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the show and hit that notification bell so you'll always know when our content drops. It really helps us out a lot. Make sure that you like the videos, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And wherever you like the social media, we are there. You can find us at Hot Zone Sports on all social media platforms. Now it's time to introduce our guest. We are going to continue with the trend of the KCLB. And today's guest is Isom Ford. He is the Wellington Heat coach and an assistant coach at Alabama A&M. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. It's been a pretty hectic day. As always, the heat starts turning up, and no pun intended. But yeah. So, can you give us a little background about yourself?
Yeah, so Isom Ford, originally from Birmingham, Alabama, played high school ball in the area of Pleasant Grove. And then I ended up transferring to Arthur Harold Parker High School, very historic high school in Birmingham, Alabama. I then went on to play Division II baseball at Claflin University. Won a SIAC championship, which was really cool. Very fun to be a part of before transferring to Alabama A&M, where I finished up my career in college. Got a chance to play independent ball after that. Play for the Bakersfield Train Robbers and the Wasco Reserve in the Pecos League. And then was blessed enough to get an opportunity to play with the Savannah Bananas for a short stint. Um, and that led me into working with the Los Angeles Angels in player development with the minor league as a minor league video assistant. And then that also led to me finishing up this past job I had this past summer with the Pittsburgh Pirates, working as a minor league operations assistant in the Dominican Republic. So it's been a long journey. Um, but it's been a fun one, to say the least. Got a chance to see a lot of things, meet a lot of people. So it's been great overall.
Yeah. So you have you've been around a little bit. What was it like in the Dominican Republic? And dealing with baseball, it's a big deal down there, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just being there was just really cool, just to be immersed in just not only their culture, but just being from Alabama. I don't speak that much Spanish, so being immersed and learning Spanish as well on the fly was really cool. Got a chance to help a lot of guys speak English, because that was their biggest goal, and my biggest goal was to learn how to speak Spanish. So it was a lot of back and forth, helping guys out with that, with not only, you know, the language barrier, but also with baseball too. So it's really fun.
We're gonna have a little conversation about the Savannah Bananas as well. that's our wacky portion of the
Okay.
podcast. And yeah, we got to ask one weird question,
Okay.
man. But so behind every organization, uh, whether it's the major leagues, whether it's minor league baseball or Dominican Republic, there's always a mission. And
For
so, what
sure.
is the mission of the Wellington Heat?
I would say the mission of the Wellington Heat is to not only develop players, but to develop young men. I want guys who don't want to just come out there and grow as a player, but also grow as a person. Um, it's easy to teach baseball to somebody who's willing to learn, in all aspects, not just baseball, but life too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's just great to see guys like that, guys like you who are coming into the KCLB, that are just a great example for the young kids. Whether it's kids coming out of high school that are about to be going into you know Division 1 or NAIA or whatever it is, and just guiding them along. And
For
that's
sure.
this is it's gonna be a great experience for all these kids. So, how did you become the coach of the Heat? So you've traveled around a little bit, like you said.
Yeah.
So how did you land at the KCLB?
Yeah, honestly, at the time I was working at the airport in Atlanta, and just sent out applications literally to every league that I could find. And this league reached back out to me with like very quick haste. I really wasn't expecting it. Got a call and did an interview at work actually when I was on my break. And so it was really, really cool. And Sheldon probably can attest to this as well as Ron. Like they called me, you probably hear planes going off in the background, just flying and everything. But yeah, we just had a good conversation, and I guess they just felt like I was the right guy. And yeah, just blessed enough to have this opportunity.
Yeah. So if you don't know about the Wellington Heat, they're based in Wellington, Kansas, and so this squad finished 22-13 in the KCLB last season. So what kind of improvements can you make, or have you made with this team that made it to the finals in the summer showdown as well?
Yeah, so we've been just trying to piece together kind of the same type of guys that we had prior to me getting this job. Landed a lot of what I think will be a lot of big bats that'll help us this summer. Um, I think we got some guys that are going to come in and dominate on the mound too. So I think the biggest thing that we're going to try to do is just when we get there, we got a short amount of time to collaborate these guys and make them a team. But I think with that short amount of time, we're going to have a lot of guys with the buy-in to want to finish what we couldn't do last year. With us finishing second, of course, our goal this year is to win that championship.
Yeah, that was that championship game. That one was wild. You guys
Yeah,
were up 11-2, and man, you don't see too many games like that where you're up 11-2, and it's just, man, the dam broke.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I've heard all about it, unfortunately, but we don't plan or intend to make that mistake again this year.
Yeah, that's good because there's a lot of people in Wellington that
Oh yeah,
wouldn't want it to happen again.
oh I'm sure.
So yeah. So last year you had some pretty solid players, making it into the finals and then having a 22-13 record, which it, the KCLB was a little bit. It was pretty competitive last year. I mean, you had what 2 to 3 teams that had that 22-13 record, tied for second place. Of course, the tiebreakers came in, and so you had an all-around great team, which is why you were running her up in the summer showdown. So, have you seen the squad and how they're looking this year?
Yeah, I've been able to check in with some guys. Our season here with Alabama A&M has been a little hectic, just to say the least, too. So been dealing with that, but been able to talk to the guys, talk to a lot of our team, majority, throughout the week, just to check on them, see how everything's going, see how the season's going. But I am fully confident in the guys that we got coming in to come out there and dominate and do their job.
Good stuff. So, can you so with the KCLB, they got the whole mini camp going on for all the teams. So can you tell us more about the mini camp that's happening for the Heat this year?
Yeah, so minicamp, we're gonna have a couple of games just to ramp us up before we go into the season. A couple of practice days as well. But biggest thing is, like I said, just getting those guys to mesh together in that short period of time and go out there and try to win that championship this summer.
So, what is the cap for how many players you want for your team, and is the final roster set?
So the final roster is not set just yet. We're looking for about 2 to 3 more pitchers. But I think position player wise, we got everybody that we need. If we could get a couple more arms, I think we will be right where we want to be at to go out there and dominate this summer. I'm really looking forward to it. Got a lot of two-way guys too, so I'm pretty excited about that. Guys that can swing it and go out there and dominate on the mound as well. So I'm really looking forward to it.
You got a couple of Shoheis out there.
Hey, yeah, definitely for sure.
Just don't have your two ways mock the other team's home run celebrations. That was man, that was ugly. You can't be doing that, Shohei, man. So when does the roster actually have to be finalized?
I want to say it has to be finalized right before report date, which is May 28th. So
Okay.
we're still looking to add guys. But I want to say as well, like, we have injuries that may happen throughout the summer and things like that. So I don't want to necessarily say like that we can't have guys come in on that second half of the season. So definitely we'll be keeping that option open as well, just in case, guys go down or guys end up having to leave, with life happening.
So, given your experience in being in the MLB, MILB, and going overseas to Dominican Republic, like what do you feel like you can bring as the new coach of the Wellington Heat?
I feel like I can bring that professional mindset when it comes to showing up to the ballpark early, just preparing yourself every single day because we do play a pretty rigorous schedule. It's not like most leagues where you got a couple of days off. Like we're playing kind of like a minor league schedule. We're playing almost every day. So just being able to keep those guys locked in mentally and locked in physically as well. I want to say I plan to go out there and basically take everything that I've learned within minor league baseball and just being at major league camp as well, just taking all those things and implementing them from what I've seen.
Good stuff. So all these teams they have host families, and host families they play an integral part into how these teams are able to operate. If they're able to bring in all these players, because without these host families, it's just not going to exist. And
For
this
sure.
isn't just for the KCLB. Like this is nationwide. You have to have these host families. So, did you have a host family when you were doing summer tournaments or anything like this?
I did have a host family even when I played professional ball um, in the Pecos League. So it was, I mean, you can't thank these people enough for opening their homes up and just being a light, when you need it the most. I still talk to my host parents today, to this day, and they're just great people. And I never would have thought, like kid from Alabama goes all the way out to California, Bakersfield, California, to be exact, where it feels like it's middle of nowhere, but great community, great sense of people, like just to be around. And like I said, just having that extra support, is definitely needed.
See, for me, it's just so important, as I already emphasized. But it's not just the importance of it. Like being a host family, it
Mhm.
it's going to give that family something for the rest of their life. Like you say, you got a young son who doesn't know which sport he wants to play in. You're going to have that opportunity. The player's going to have that opportunity to hang out with that family,
Yeah,
talk to with that family. Get a rapport, get a conversation going, and yeah, it's just something that you remember. And I've talked to a lot of coaches, a lot of players, and they say the same thing. They always are continuing to talk to their
yeah,
host families, 10, 20, 30 years down the road.
yeah. Yeah, it's just that relationship, like you said, I mean, it's like you're a stranger at first, and then they open up their home, and next thing you know, they really truly are a family. And it just goes to show too, like I said, you never know who you're gonna meet in this world. and when you're going to need them as well. So it's just been a blessing. Um, you know, like I said, I still talk to my host family to this day. And shout out to Julie Wolf. She even tried to help me get a job once the season was over, just to stay in Bakersfield and help out. Um, and a lot of people in that area, like not even just the host family. Once you get to meet the fans too, they become like family. So it's really cool. And I want to say shout out to our host families as well, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do this during the summer and put on this great league.
Absolutely. So, what is the message that you're going to tell your players after last season?
Yeah, so just to, kind of let the past be the past. This is a new team, and I keep saying this word dominate, but I really want them to ingrain that within their character as well. Because the biggest piece of advice that I got when I got into minor league baseball was dominate your job, do your job, and you will be seen. And I feel like that goes in every aspect of life. Um, and if you take that mindset, there's nothing that you can't conquer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, a big thing with the KCLB is, that all star weekend type thing. Um, and probably the most exciting events in all of baseball, not just KCLB, is the Home Run Derby.
For
Do you
sure.
have any idea? Give us some pointers on who you think's going to be participating.
Uh, I think I got one guy in mind. He's a freshman for us here at Alabama A&M right now. His name's
Okay.
Charles Morris, but big kid, lefty bat and can swing it. So looking forward to just seeing how much he develops this summer. It's crazy because he takes BP with a wooden bat, and I swear he hits better with wood than he does aluminum. So I can't wait to see him this summer with the wood in his hand. It's a crazy sight to see.
See, I've heard that the KCLB they do some pretty wild things with the with their bats to let that ball fly a little bit further. So it is going to be a sight to behold on that home run derby.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Are there any players that we should look out for this summer that you have high expectations for?
I would say Charles Morris, like I said. I would say Keegan Woods. I want to say he's a returner for us. He's a catcher, and Sean Bridges, middle infield guy, also can get on the bump when needed. But just a guy that's true utility, can kind of put him anywhere. But looking forward to see how he develops this summer and how the summer goes for him.
Yeah. So this is going to be the fun part of the podcast. You said that
Okay.
you were involved with the Savannah Bananas for a time. What was
Yes.
that like? Because it's like Barnum and Bailey circus out there every single game, man.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a sight to see. If you've never been to a banana ball game, I highly recommend that you go out to one or watch it. They're on ESPN. I feel like their sports coverage is major. It doesn't matter what you watch it on. I watched it on Hulu the other night,
Mm,
but still got some buddies that play for the team. It's been cool just to see how that organization has branded itself, and what they've become. But yeah, like I was there for 2 weeks. They called me up when I was substitute teaching, and it was just like, hey, are you still interested in coming and playing banana ball? And I was like, yeah. So got a chance to go to Columbus, Georgia, and be a part of that. And then finally they finished up their season in Birmingham, Alabama at Rickwood. So it was really cool just to come back home and be in front of my family. I think the coolest part was got a chance to catch Jake Peavy.
oh
So
wow.
that might have been the most fun atmosphere I've ever had in baseball in general. And just being able to be around so many great guys too. Because a lot of people think like that banana ball is scripted, but I promise you it's not. Those guys are super competitive and want to win every single inning because it's not the whole game. You win every single inning with banana ball.
See, I've always wondered if it was scripted because they came up with the banana ball and they do all these wacky celebrations. I'll give it to them though. They didn't go just like, you know, put one foot halfway into the door.
Yeah.
They threw their entire body into, okay, we're going to market it this way. We're going to do, you know, backflip catches. We're going to bring John Cena on. Like, I I lost I couldn't watch it after they brought John Cena on. I'm just like I can't do this. It was just too much. Like went a little too far with that one.
No, it's definitely a good time though, just to see too like the most serious guys that you think are super serious are the most unserious people in the world. So it's pretty fun. You get to see guys just be a kid, you know.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Well, what I do like about the banana ball is they're they're getting a lot more eyes on baseball in general to
Hmm.
a growing population that think that baseball is dying. I mean, I saw something, I can't remember what guy said it. It was a prominent figure in the sports world. He said that the WNBA is going to overtake Major League Baseball in 5 to 10 years. And hearing that was a little bit crazy to me, but it makes sense because the MLB is adjusting all these rules. You got
Yeah.
your pitch timer. They
Mhm.
did that because you'll have some games where they'll be like 6 hours long, and
Yeah,
with banana ball, they they have their games. I think it said it was like 2 hours,
it
and
is.
the score is the score.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yep.
so
So it's been pretty cool. And then I want to say they just implemented some more stuff recently where they have like a swing off. It's like a in-game home run derby too. So I mean they've been changing the way baseball, like you said, has been looked at and viewed. And I honestly think it's pretty cool. I even have kids that I train kids at a facility, and they're like, "Hey, you used to play for the Bananas?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, I want to be a banana when I grow up." And I'm like, "Well, keep working at it, man. You never know what can happen." But I think it's really cool just because, like you said, they revamped baseball and brought some life into it. And it's just more people watching the game in general now.
right. So, this is the part of the show where I'm going to give you a moment to do a little bit of a shout out to anyone outside of your organization, inside of your organization, that helps you in any way. The Hot Zone Sports platform is yours, Ism.
All right. So definitely want to give a shout out to all the host families. Like I said, without them, none of this would be possible. Give a shout out to Sheldon Howell, who has helped me every step of the way through this process, as well as Ryan Jenkins, our GM for the Wellington Heat. Those two guys have helped me tremendously to, you know, come into this role and make it a little bit easy. Definitely want to give a shout out to my parents for supporting me every step of the way. That they've been such a big help, especially with me going out there and just trying to chase my dreams. Like I said, I want to give a shout out to my Bakersfield family as well. You know, having people like that support you too, it means a lot, especially like I said, just being a kid from Alabama to go all the way out to Bakersfield, California, and felt like I had nobody out there, but I end up having a family all along. So just want to give out shout out to all those people and just let them know like they really helped me come very far.
And now you're coming to the flatlands of Kansas,
I
and
am. Never been before, so I'm definitely excited about it.
it's there are some great places. I'm sure me and
Yeah,
you will have a few conversations out at the ballpark, and
for sure.
just talk shop, talk about whatever. But yeah, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Um, it's going to be a great summer league, and I hope all the kids that are on the fence about playing just go ahead and join because it's if Wichita, Kansas does one thing very well, it is they make, whether it's NCAA March Madness for the men's or the women's or the women's, they make it a massive blowout, and
Yeah,
it's just once you come here, you're family right off
nice,
the bat. That's how it works. But
nice.
thank you for coming on. I look forward to future podcasts, future reels, whatever we come up with. But next up, we have Rod Ellison from the El Dorado Walnuts. Yes, I said the walnuts. And if you don't know about the walnuts, we're going to get right into it. So we're going to give you some education today. All right, welcome back to the show, The Burn. I want to welcome in our second guest of the evening, Mr. Rod Ellison. He is the head coach or manager, whatever you want to call it, of the El Dorado Walnuts. How's it going, man?
Good, good. Glad to be on with you.
Absolutely glad to have you on. So, can you give us a little background about yourself, about the El Dorado Walnuts?
I grew up I grew up in the El Dorado area for the most part. Uh, Baseball when I was young and growing up was really big in El Dorado. It was actually huge.
Okay.
It was a big deal there. It got to the point where it wasn't as much, I felt like. Um, and when the Walnuts started, I got a phone call about the opportunity to coach them. And talked to my son about it because I wanted him to coach with me. And our goal was from the beginning to bring something back to El Dorado that made the community proud and brought people to our community because we bring kids in from all over the country. Because I think personally, I've worked all over the country, been around a lot of the Midwest, and I love Kansas. And I thought by bringing people here and showing them what we're about here, that it would give a chance for the kids to see a community that can really do things and give the community a chance to show themselves off a little bit. Our goal or mission statement, I guess, from the beginning wasn't about wins and losses. Now, with that said, nobody hate I hate losing more than life itself. But our goal was to bring kids in and to make them better, to go back to whatever school they went to. I want them to be a better baseball player. I want to try and make them a better human. And I want them to be healthy when they go back. And I want them to have a good taste of the elevated community in their mouth when they leave.
Absolutely. So, how long have you been a coach for the Walnuts?
This will be our fourth year, I think. The organization started 4 years ago.
Okay.
Right. One, two, three. Yeah, this is our fourth year. So they used to be the Broncos years ago, and then they went to Hutch, and then it was something else, and then it just baseball wasn't in town anymore hardly, and there was an opportunity for the Walnuts or a team to come in and try and take off, and I had the opportunity. Um, Actually a blessing that was asked to be the head coach and had the opportunity and was really excited about it and I still am.
It's awesome. You know, me growing up here, El Dorado Walnuts, they were, well, it was the Broncos, but they were kind of like a staple that was,
Yep,
in this area. They went to the NBC, and
yep.
I was one of those kids that did around the clock with her dad, and one of those lasting memories. And so yeah, it's awesome that the Walnuts are back, and saying that, they have a pretty storied history, but behind every good organization, whether it's MLB, MILB, KCLB, there's always that mission. And you already talked about some of the mission, but there's a mission that goes beyond baseball. So tell the viewers, what is the mission of the El Dorado Walnuts, in a nutshell? No pun intended.
Yeah, no doubt. Beyond baseball is a big part of our mission, actually. I like the idea of getting guys to, I like helping young men grow up and try and become men because the biggest thing they're going to do in their life. And at some point, we all hang up the cleats. At some point, no matter where it is, you all hang up the cleats. My goal is I want to be somebody that they remember the rest of their lives when they're coaching their kids, when they're being a husband to their wife, when they're being their family. I want to be somebody that they think about some of the things I have tried to teach them, or we we use baseball. Honestly, we use baseball for life lessons as much as anything,
Yeah.
and that's a big part of what our goal is. Life's not easy, baseball's not easy. They sort of coincide together, but you can make it as good as you want it to be or as bad as you want it to be, and a lot of it has to do with your attitude.
Speaking of something that's been going on around town, is you guys got yourself a new mascot here.
Yeah, the walnut mascot broke out a couple of years ago and has been a huge favorite of the kids and the fans around town. We have an awesome crowd usually. I mean, we have a pretty large crowd most of the time. Um, we have a lot of people that come back. That's part of what they do in the summertime is watch that and get going. And the mascot has been a fan favorite since it broke out. Um, the support of the community is awesome. And as I said in my statement, bringing bringing the community together a little bit around something that I thought would be was something that was part of my goal in the beginning. And the mascot has helped that. It's been really awesome. And the kids really dig it. And it's fun to have that community support coming around and watching everything.
Yeah, I mean, whoever made this mascot, I think we all know who made it. But yeah, with this mascot, it couldn't exemplify the El Dorado Walnuts any better. Like, it's
No,
just
it's awesome.
absolutely amazing. It's spot on. This is great stuff. And so yeah, you guys have your mascot, which basically means you got baseball year round. You know, the mascot is constantly making appearances, whether it's with
Yep.
the Chamber of Commerce or whatever it is, and so it's this is great for the community. You know, that's what the KCLB, that's what the Summer Showdown exemplifies. They're community first, and once you're part of the family, that's what it is. You are 100% a part of the family, and we got a tight knit group of guys. We got the coaches, we got the mascots. It's just amazing what this what the Summer Showdown and KCLB is continuing to do. And I'm loving every single second of it. And I am actually completely blessed to be involved in a project like this. I love it.
It's awesome to have you here because it's growing. It's cool to watch it grow. It's cool to watch the communities to get to be part of it and get in to be part of it. And it's even like there's a guy, his kids and mine were about the same age, and we coached football and different helped get youth football going in the Circle School District and going growing up. And he now lives in Salina. Hell, he watches our games uh, on live stream. I mean, he's texts me and tells me about things that so there's people even outside the communities that's part of our community with it. So that's all really cool. And it is amazing how many people that if I go to Walmart in El Dorado or at a Quick Trip or someplace and somebody will walk up and I may not know them or not see them. Hey coach, how's it going? What's the team looking like this year? So it's really cool because that's when I know that the community is really buying in and they're paying attention to things, and that's all extremely cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, saying all of that, um, is there anything new going on with your squad? Like you finished 22-13 last season in the KCLB, which was a three-way tie for second place. I mean, that tells you one thing: how competitive the KCLB is. Yeah, that was just wild to see that three-way tie. But what kind of improvements, so to speak, we're done with this squad?
Well, um, we're hoping that we have a lot of improvements this year. We we really ran the bases well last year, and that's something we shoot for. Is we like to have a lot of speed on our team. We like to play an exciting brand of baseball. Uh, Usually not willing to let the other team dictate what we do. We're just going to go and be who we are, and that's part of the mission statement about growing young men into becoming young men. Is because in life in general, you you can control what you can control. And
Right.
that's something we preach, and that's in life. That's a life lesson altogether, is control what you can control and take the rest on and handle it. So that's sort of the way we play the game. We're going to have we have a few returners, not a lot this year. So we have a lot of new guys. Pretty excited to meet all the new guys. We have some guys that will bang a little bit. We will run. We have guys that we're just, that's the way we're going to play the game. We're going to be aggressive, like to play the game that way. Um, Arms, I like them to throw strikes. I don't care how hard they throw. I want to play the game. I want to get it going. And I love to dictate everything that goes on if at all possible.
It's just yeah, that's good stuff. I know one of these teams out here, they have a guy that's 6'8", left-handed pitcher. That's gonna be
Yeah, and
wild to see out on the field. I know that for sure.
it will be. It'll be definitely different to see somebody that tall on the bump.
Like, I'm not gonna say Randy Johnson S because I haven't seen the slider yet, but I'm just saying, he's got the height down. That's for sure.
He does have height down here.
So last year you had some pretty solid players and an all around pretty solid team, which is why you did so well in the KCLB. So have you been able to see how good the squad is looking, or kind of look online to see how the players that are coming in, how they're doing in the
Some of them,
colleges?
yeah, some of them I did. Some of them it's harder to look at because I've got a few high school kids coming in
Okay.
that are going to be college kids next year. I The kids that played for me last year, they're coming back. Even the ones that didn't play before, I try and stay in contact with them once, two, three times during the school year, see how they're doing, see how life's going for them, see how everything's going. I stay in pretty tight contact with. I mean, if you've played for me, now you're family. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's sort of the way we roll. So I try and stay in contact with guys and see how they're doing and see how things are going. And most of them that have come back, a lot of them were freshmen this year in college, a couple sophomores, uh, pretty successful, getting to move on to different places or spend their sophomore year someplace. But they've been pretty successful so far. But they're all excited about coming back for the summer. um, my We are pretty direct in our approach to the game, and we're pretty direct in our approach to the players, and I think they appreciate that. In all honesty, they
Yeah.
like being part of that. They know where they stand all the time, and we're always teaching about what you can do to improve and what you can do this, and we're always available for them anytime they need there, whether it's life and or baseball that they need to talk about. My son and I are both available to talk to them and try and talk them through things because
Excellent.
there is no experience like experience, and
Right.
I'm damn sure old enough to have some of that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, what can you tell us about the youth mini camp that's going to be going on for the Walnuts here?
The youth mini camps have been something that's been awesome for the community, and part of what we talked about is our mission statement of bringing the community together. There's actually a junior Walnuts in Laredo now that's been going. The youth mini camps last year, we probably had 30 30 to 40 kids at both of them that we have. Uh, we do them as part of bringing the community together, and it is an uh, awesome experience. Probably as much for my players as it is as the youth guys. Uh, my players have really dug into it, and we try and go through and we do some skills, we do some teaching, we have a lot of fun in doing it, and then we'll have a wiffle ball game at the end of it, and that seems to really be a cool thing for everybody involved. Uh, it'll be on our schedules when we get it out when we're going to do it. We will announce it through school or when we're doing it. We do one Sunday, and I can't read the date. June.
June
I cannot read
30th,
the dates.
June 30th, Monday at 6 p.m., and then there's June 1st, Sunday at 1 p.m.
June 1st is the first one I was going to mention. We have an awesome time with our youth mini camps. It brings, and it's really, what's really cool is about it is all those kids end up bringing their parents to the games, and it is so fun to listen to them up in the stands when they're talking about, hey, do this or hey, do that. And it's just a lot of fun because the love of baseball is, you can hear it in their voices. They're part of something. They feel like they're part of something. We feel like they're part of our team. So when we get everything going like that, that's how you grow the game. That's how you pass it. Because honestly, like for me, at some point the game becomes passing it down to the next generation and the next
Right.
generation, and that's part of what our mission is keep passing it, because it's the greatest game in the world. Although I love all sports, baseball is probably the greatest life game in the world, because no matter where you're at on the field, you're you're a part of a team, but if you're not pulling your weight, it shows immediately and you stand out in the crowd. So it's a
Oh,
lot like life, is you're going to be part of a team, but what are you doing to make that team better? What are you doing to make yourself better as part of that team? And so passing everything down is part of our mission statement. We get these young kids in here, boys, girls, don't matter, and we have a blast at our youth mini camps.
and those youth mini camps, they've been going on. They've been going on for quite some time. I remember me when I was a kid. The local university was Wichita State University. I mean, we had some K State roll in. Butler Community College. They'd roll in, and it was just a great experience to just hang out with the guys that you look up to, the guys that you kind of want to emulate, um, and as you grow within the game. And it's just a great thing in youth mini camp. If you're on the fence about attending or taking your child there, just go ahead and do it, because it is going to be one of those experiences that your son, your daughter is going to remember for the rest of their lives. Because I still remember it to this day, and I am not going to say my age, but I'm just saying I remember it. I'm not 20 years old, but I remember, you know 20 some years ago, that I was attending these camps. And I took my kids to a camp up in K State when Bruce Weber was the head basketball coach there, and they still remember it. They remember the experience. They remember when we're just camping out at night having fun. So just go ahead and take your kids to it. It's going to be an amazing thing. That's the KCLB is 100% family oriented. And if I know one thing, I know that these players are going to be solely focused on these kids and making this experience unforgettable.
And that's a fact. And as awesome it is for the youth kids, I promise you, these college kids get just as much out of it. And the relationships that some of them grow into, that I've watched over the last 4 years that we've done this and have these camps, it's cool to watch those relationships between those youth kids, somebody 4, 5, 6, 7 years old and 10, 12 years old, doesn't matter, and then a college age kid. It is cool to watch those relationships grow. And I'm telling you, it means as much to those college age kids as it does the youth kids.
So speaking of community, how are you on the host families? Are you set with that?
We have a great bunch of host families, always looking for more. Um, we're fairly good on our roster. I'd like to bring some more pitchers in. Can never have too many of those.
Yeah.
Always want to take care of my arms, and I won't overthrow anybody. So that's something that I would like to have more pitchers for that. But it's always cool. And the host families, like we have some. We had a couple that were first years last year, and now they're helping get other people into it because it was such an awesome experience for them.
Yeah.
And like I know some of them are going. We had some California kids in last year. It was a whole new world for them their first year last year. They had never been away from home like that. The people they stayed with, they really became close with them. That host family went to California and then got to see those kids this
Hmm.
last fall or this winter and got to see them and just check in on and catch up with them. But the host families and the kids usually create a relationship that's there a long time also.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Could always use more host families. Would love to have more people in the community. Like I said, the more the community grows with this, the better it is for everybody, and the more the kids, it helps the community in general just become a stronger community with each other.
Yeah. Host families are it,
Can't do it without them.
yeah, you can't. And
No.
this is a perfect opportunity for families to bring a baseball player into their home. And this is just another thing, just like the mini camp. You're going to be bringing a player into your home. You know, you're going to be having conversations with them. You're going to be molding a relationship with them. And from every coach, every player that I have talked to, they remember and they still talk to these host families that hosted them or whatever tournament or whatever summer league they were involved in to this day 20 years down the line. And so yeah, it's one of those things that if you're involved in it, you know, you're going to be adding to your family. And say you got a 8 or a 10 or a 12-year-old
Yep.
son or daughter and they're not sure if they want to play baseball, well, you're going to have a pretty good opportunity to realize they're probably going to play playing baseball after this because they're going to be looking up to this baseball player that they bring into their home.
Yeah, no, it's a very rewarding thing for the host families and um, the kids that are part of it, and then the host families. I think it's a rewarding deal for life.
Absolutely. So your season is going to be kicking off on June 6th against the Kansas Curve. How are you feeling?
Well, it's always a good game when we play them.
Oh
Always
yeah.
excited. They always have a good roster, and it's always competitive. And that's something about our league is it is extremely competitive. Uh, we feel like we've been really successful as an organization for being our fourth year as an organization. Um, we was good our first year. We won it our second year. We won the league our second year. We won the national tournament our second year and then, as you said, we tied for second last year. It's been an awesome experience having it, and it's been an awesome experience to watch the community grow with it.
Yeah. So as you said earlier, you're going to be not having too many returning starters. So what is your message going to be to your players this season?
Control what you can control and leave no regrets when you go on the field. Give everything you got, always. You never know when the last time you put your cleats in is going to be, and whenever you take your cleats off for the last time, you want to take them off and know that I couldn't have done one thing more to be the best I could be at what I'm doing.
Absolutely. So there's a big thing that goes on with the KCLB, and it is the basically the All Star game, the All Star weekend, that type of stuff. So you got a home run derby. Do you know who's going to be participating in that?
I do not know yet. I will make that judgment once I see him swing it. We got enough new kids that I want to give everybody an opportunity by watching.
So do you
You're going
have?
to earn that spot.
Yeah, yeah. So do you have any international players coming in?
We have four. We have three Japanese players coming, and we have one from Colombia coming. So
Mhm.
pretty excited about that. That will be the first for us this year to have the international players on our team. So pretty excited about that. It'll be cool.
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely be talking to them because if people don't realize what I'm going to be doing with a lot of these reels, a lot of these shorts that I create is I want to find all the the players, and I want to get their story, get their journey. Like, how did they get to this point? And with players from overseas, like, yeah, that's definitely on the top of my list, because you don't see people from Japan just like coming to
No,
Kansas very often. It's not
no,
it's not it's not on their bucket list. Let's go to
no.
the flatlands of Kansas and hang out for a couple of months. Nope, that's not it. So, do you have any players that we should look out for this summer that you have high expectations on?
I put high expectations on every one of them. Um, a couple of the young kids that were actually graduated high school last year and were college freshmen this year. I'm excited to see them back. Cooper Sanders and Lex Loomis. It was their first year in college. I'm excited to see how they grew from last year. I'm excited for all my returners. Um Cooper Tabor's a returner. Reed Jacobs a returner. Those guys, I get to see. I've talked to them over the year and listened to some of their growth, and I'm excited to see the growth as they come back from last summer to this summer and see where they are. Uh, it's always cool to get the returners coming back and see where they've gone. So I'm excited for that. The new guys, it's not putting any names out there until I see you. I'm going to make you earn everything I talk to you about, or talk about you, I should say.
So we got the league popping off here in less than a month. Um, so where do you think the Walnuts stand as the league is about to tip off?
With all the new players, I, my expectations are to win it,
Right,
period.
right.
And that's my goal every year, and it's always going to be my goal. I got enough new players. I don't until I put them out there and see how they mold and come together. That's the biggest thing, is how do they come together as teammates, and how do they grow together, and how do they want to help each other become better. That's going to be a big part. The first month of the year, we're getting everybody some playing time, and really working hard at trying to get everybody playing time and watch growth, and help them mature and help them grow in their deal. And then as we get in the second half of the year, we'll get more consistent with our starting lineups and our roster, and going down the line and trying to build towards tournament time, and everybody has an opportunity to earn that time.
Absolutely. So this is the part of the podcast where we have a little bit of fun here. So the big thing in the baseball world is and they actually just got a deal with ESPN, so let's just talk about it. The Savannah Bananas. What do you think about them, man?
It is a show. It is. It's not really baseball. It's a show. That's more of a. It's the Harlem Globetrotters on grass. It's a. It's cool. They're fun to watch. It's a cool thing. But yeah, no, it's a cool thing. I think it's a great thing. I think somebody had some foresight to get them going in the way they are. Me personally, I'm going to watch a regular game most of the time before I watch that. But I think their highlights are awesome.
Yeah, to me, it's just I don't know. It's like a Barnum and Bailey's circus on
Yeah.
a baseball field. Uh, but I mean, you can call me, an old head or whatever you want to call me. But I don't know. To me, it's got to be difficult catching a fly ball out and left, doing a backflip. But
No
I just
doubt about it.
I just find it highly unnecessary.
So do
It's
I.
just me.
But they are extremely, what they do shows there is just how athletic some of those guys are.
Oh yeah. But one thing I will give them credit for, they're getting a lot of eyes on them. Excuse me. They're getting a lot of eyes on them, and in turn, those eyes are turning to Major League Baseball, going to your local, minor league team, just going to summer league games, and so I'll give them credit where credit's due. They're definitely getting more eyes on baseball, and so I do like that
Absolutely.
that is happening.
I do too. That's absolutely, anything that you can do to grow the game is good in my opinion.
Absolutely. So this is a part of the show where I'm going to give you a moment to do a little bit of a shout out to anyone in your organization, outside of your organization, your wife, your Rottweiler at home that you like to pet when you get home, whoever it is. The Hot Zone Sports platform is yours, Rod.
My shout out probably will be to my host families and everything they do for us because we can't do it without them. So that it's always good to recognize them when I can. Um, Bill Young is one of our host families. He's also our announcer at the games. He is awesome as far as announcing. He keeps people in the games. He keeps people going, and that's cool. And I really want to give a shout out basically to the community in itself for the support they've brought to us. Uh, all of our Fourth of July games have been past standing room only. We'll have between 16 and 2,500 people on our Fourth of July games, which is crazy. We have a good crowd all the time at our games, and part of that's because of Bill and his announcing and how awesome it is. But it's just really, I want to give it a shout out to my host families and the community in general for supporting us and what we're doing.
Absolutely. And good luck this season with the El Dorado Walnuts. It's going to be just a friendly reminder the Walnut season is going to kick off June 6th. That game is going to be in Clearwater against the Kansas Curve. So go ahead and come out. It's going to be a great time. Get some autographs. Enjoy America's favorite pastime. It's not football yet. It's still baseball. But
Absolutely.
I just want to thank you, Rod Ellison, for coming on to The Burn. And I appreciate this dynamic conversation that we had. We got to learn a little bit more about, the El Dorado Walnuts. We got to learn a little bit more about you. And I just want to thank you for coming on. It was a great time.
Well, I appreciate you hosting us, and I definitely appreciate you having us and letting us put ourselves out there a little bit.
Absolutely. And that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And if you have not heard of the KCLB, go ahead and go to their website, check it out, go to their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They got content absolutely everywhere. And on June 6th, I will see you out on the ballpark. On that note, Hot Zone Sports, signing out. Peace.